Alright, I'm here to do a video about the wrestler John Cena. I usually don't communicate with the IWC, aka the YWC. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Myers fan or the Michael Myers fanatic, whichever you want to call me. Or you don't have to call me anything. But the point is, I'm here to do a video about the wrestler John Cena and why I don't like him. First of all, I want to say that we live in a society where we have to physically explain everything because everyone's so emotional. So every time we say something, we have to explain what we mean. Every time we talk about John Cena, we have to say, well, I don't mean John Cena the person, I mean John Cena the character, because the character happens to be named after the real person. Here's my thing. He tries to pander to people. He says things that he knows will get him pops or cheers. Like, for example, he'll say something like, "You guys are fired up tonight. Woo!" Or, "This is a rowdy crowd tonight." And he says that because he knows the crowd will cheer him. He always panders to the crowd, and it's freaking annoying. That's one of the reasons I don't like John Cena. Or he'll mention a popular wrestler just to get them to cheer. He'll say something like, "Boy, that Daniel Bryan is something else." He'll include Daniel Bryan in his promo just to get people to cheer him. Or he'll say something about The Rock just to get people to cheer him. And it's really irritating. Here's another thing. I don't like how they're always using the wrong words to describe Cena. They say things to make you like him, to force you to like him. Like the WWE will say something like, "John Cena is the most controversial superstar of all time." No, he's not controversial, he's just annoying. Let me define the two words. First of all, let's use the word annoying. And here's what the dictionary says about the word annoying. Causing irritation, causing mild anger or impatience. Did you hear what the dictionary said? He irritates people. He's not controversial, he's just annoying. He irritates me as a fan. Now let's look up the actual word controversial. Controversial, causing argument, provoking strong disagreement or disapproval in public debate. No one ever debates about Cena. Most of the fans actually hate him. In order to call it a debate, you would have to have two even sides. But you don't have that because John Cena's demographic is composed of women and children. So where's the controversy? Who are you going to argue with, a woman or a child? I don't argue with either one. I'm not going to waste my time arguing with a woman that thinks John Cena's hot, or with a child that thinks John Cena's such a good wrestler. He's the Superman. And every child says the same thing, because I was one of them. I was a kid. I was a little older than these kids, but I was a kid. And we all did the same thing. I did it right along with them. I was like, "You can't see me." I did the same thing. "You can't see me," waving my hand in front of my face like they do. But then I grew up because I realized that that was all a bunch of crap. Here's another thing. Cena is a hypocrite. He says that he doesn't like to be judged. But then he judges The Rock. He told The Rock, "Don't judge me for the way I dress or speak." But what did he do? In 2008, he went on a radio show and judged The Rock for not being at WWE. Isn't that the same thing? Here's another thing. I don't like Cena because he seems like he's having an identity crisis, like he just can't figure out who he is. First he says, I'm being myself. When I walk down to the ring, they all know that I'm being myself. So you're saying you're being yourself by being a rapper. You said that in 2012. But then in 2014, you were doing this panel discussion for wrestling games, and then you said, I'm not going to use the thugonomics gimmick because that's not who I am. But in 2011, or excuse me, in 2012, you said that that is who you are. Make up your mind. Who's John Cena? He tries to pander to the crowd. He's like, hey guys, I love you. I'm here every week. See how much I love you? Now, I agree with Cena on one thing. The Rock could have done a little more in the later years in his career. He could have come back for the 15th anniversary. He could have done that. That's true. But then you have to look at it like this. Dwayne Johnson played that character from 1997 to 2004. What else could he do with the character of The Rock? There was not much more he could do. I would get tired of saying the same thing over and over again after 7 years. The routine would get old and played out. Blah, blah, blah. Finally, The Rock has come back. Finally, The Rock has come back. Finally, The Rock has come back. That's all he ever says. So he got tired of it. Same old thing. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. If you smell what The Rock is cooking. Do you see how annoying that would be if you had to listen to that for over 7 years? Even I got bored with it. And The Rock is my favorite wrestler. So I can understand why he wanted to leave. And why he wanted to accomplish other things. I feel the same way being on YouTube. I want to accomplish other things besides Halloween. Because the Halloween fans are all the same. They're closed-minded. But getting back to my WWE video, those are the reasons why I don't like Cena. He panders to people. He tries to get people to like him. And if he's not the one trying to get people to like him, WWE tries to force people to like him. Because they basically tell you that you can't wear what you want to wear. You can't have any kind of sign that you want to have. You can't have signs that say Cena suck. But you can have signs that say, I love Cena, or will you marry me, Cena? But you're not allowed to think he sucks. Because you're basically loving who they tell you to love, or hating who they tell you to hate. And Cena is one of those people. They like Cena because they've basically been programmed to like Cena. Because they told the little kiddies, hey kiddies, this is the good guy. Cheer for him. Oh, he's the guy that tells you to do your homework after school. He's the guy that tells you to take your vitamins and say your prayers. He's like the modern day Hulk Hogan. That's basically what he is. That is why I don't like Cena. Because if you want somebody to respect you, you have to earn their respect. They're telling you to cheer for him. They're shoving him down your throat. They're not doing it as much as they used to do it. I will say that because they dropped him down to the mid-card status and gave him the United States title. But that's my point. He's got to earn people's respect and not be shoved down their throats. If he just turned heel and freshened his gimmick up a little bit, they might respect him. But sitting there saying, I love you whether or not you cheer me or boo me, you're pandering. That's what that is. And that's something that I, as a wrestling fan, can't support. And that's basically all I have to say about John Cena. Thank you for listening, and that's why I don't like him. Whether you agree or not, I approve this message.